Hello, it's me again. If you haven't already, please watch part one. This will not make much sense if you haven't seen it. So, this will be the what and why side of this show. In part one, I attempted to do that, but I think I could have done a better job, so I wanted to take this time now to give that better explanation. So, to start off, what will an episode look like? My episode is not what a normal episode will look like. My episode looks the way it does because I did it by myself. I'm proud of the episode, and it's how I wanted to tell my story. And I want to give that same opportunity to every one of my guests that come on. All of the conversations will follow a similar loose path of a background of who the person is, objective questions about what they are doing, and then personal and philosophical questions of why. And then after the conversation is completed, there will be the ad section at the end of the video. Now, ads are an important topic to me because I come from an advertising/marketing background. I think the current space of podcast ads is extremely oversaturated and it takes away from most episodes. I think ads have value and can be useful, but consumers should be able to choose when they have to see ads and not. I think the last time ads made sense were in a newspaper. They were there if you wanted to see them, but you didn't have to if you didn't want to. What I want to do is have a pre roll ad on every episode and then have the entire conversation uninterrupted. At the end of the video will be the sponsored part. If you just want to watch the conversation and don't care about hearing for ads, you don't have to. I want you to have the choice. Why should a guest come on? First, you get to talk to me. Now, I know that right now it's not a huge selling point, but everyone does love talking to someone who is genuinely interested and curious about them and wants to listen and learn more. The goal is to, at a minimum, make every guest feel heard and listened to. Point two, you get to tell your story the way you want to tell it. Everyone deserves the opportunity to be able to tell their story the way they want to. Everyone should be able to choose and focus on what they want to talk about and what they don't want to include. No one can tell your story better than you can. Three, you have no idea how much your perspective will mean to someone. Think about all the lessons that you had to figure out on your own and all the lessons you didn't because you had someone else in your life help you avoid making the same ones. And four, you get to share your perspective. This is the main reason for having this be a show. I think for most people, they would be better off creating and having these conversations in a private setting. I want guests who are comfortable sharing and putting themselves out there in hopes of being an insight or educator on different perspectives. Perspectives can come from two places: personal experience or education. And conversation is the best way to get the most out of both. I think that one's a bar. Why am I doing this? So, first, I love people, specifically learning why someone is the way they are. Two, I want to have these conversations. I'm not here to talk to you. I'm just here to talk with my guest. And if after it feels this conversation can be helpful, it'll then be shared. I want a space that is intentional about diversity. If you want diversity, you have to be intentional about creating it. It is easy to stick with what I know and talk about things that I have also been through, but the goal is to learn and grow. The more diverse my guests are, the better I achieve that goal. And lastly, I think it's fun and I think it can help people. This is why I wake up in the morning. The day that I don't enjoy it or I'm not helping people, I won't do it anymore. The goals: provide a platform to tell your story the way you want to. Show that no matter what, two humans are always possible to have a conversation, and a reminder that everyone is human and everyone has a unique experience living it. Having conversations have been a difficult thing for me to do most of my life. They've always felt like such a big deal, and I feel a lot of pressure when having a conversation that I normally wouldn't. I don't know most things, and I would like to learn more, but asking those questions necessary to learn has been something I've struggled with. I worry about saying the wrong thing or asking it in a way that is offensive. I understand that most times it is not appropriate to have conversations like this and that it takes a lot of patience to educate someone. This is hopefully a space where conversations and questions like that can be had. I have struggled with this a lot, and especially during this time of building and creating the show. But I believe that every perspective has value, and there is no decider for how valuable one is versus another. This has been easy for me to accept, except when that applies to me. I've had a lot of thoughts of, why am I the person to host this show? Why isn't someone else doing this? Am I capable to do this? And I don't know an answer to those questions. What I do know is that I care about it and I hope it can help people. I don't know if I'll be proven right, but I also don't decide the outcome. All I can do is just focus on trying. Something I strive for is accepting life for what it is. And that is especially difficult when I don't understand why it happened. Having conversations about it makes it easier to understand, and understanding makes it easier to accept. Accepting is hard, but understanding makes it easier. I want to make it easier to start having more conversations. And hopefully, after seeing one of these, it'll help make yours easier to have.